Welcome back to Oxford 4000 Essential English Words, episode 41. I'm your host, Emma.
And I'm Frank, your learning partner on this journey. Emma, it's great to be back in the studio. You look like you've had a good week.
It was pretty good, Frank. I finally got around to visiting that new art gallery downtown. Some of the pieces were absolutely stunning.
Oh, I've been meaning to go. Speaking of new things, I'm excited to learn some new words. So, what's on the menu for today?
An excellent question. Today, we're going to be diving into a very interesting mix. We have expensive, essay, coffee, automatic, conference, entrance, park, argument, much, and visual.
Wow, that's quite a list. It goes from something I love, coffee, to something I dread, a long essay. And I see argument in there, which sounds a little tense.
It can be, but we'll break it all down. Before we get into our word by word deep dive, we want to give a huge thank you to our listeners. Your support means the world to us.
That really does. If you're enjoying the show, please take a moment to save this episode, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. It helps us so much in creating more polished episodes for you all.
All right, let's kick things off with our first word expensive. In English, expensive is an adjective we use to describe something that costs a lot of money.
Cool.
它的核心意思是昂贵的.
Right, like that new smartphone everyone is talking about. It looks amazing, but it's just too expensive for me right now. So a simple sentence would be, that watch is very expensive.
Exactly. We can also use it to talk about experiences, not just objects. For example, traveling to Europe can be expensive if you don't plan your budget carefully.
That's a great point. It's not just about the price tag on an item. What about another way to say it? Does it have any common synonyms?
It does. For a slightly more informal feel, you could use pricey, as in, the drinks at that bar are a bit pricey. For a more formal context, costly works well. For instance, the legal battle was a costly process for the company.
Pricey. I like that one. It sounds a little less direct. Now, moving from spending money to spending time and effort, our next word is essay.
Yes, an essay is a short piece of writing on a particular subject, often done for a school or university course. 它的中文就是我们常说的文章或者短文。
Ah, the source of much stress for students everywhere. I remember having to write a 5,000 word essay on 19th century literature. It took me weeks.
I can imagine. A common phrase you'll hear is to write an essay. For example, the professor asks us to write an essay on the causes of the war.
You can also submit an essay, right? I have to submit my essay by Friday. Is it only for academic work?
Mostly, but not exclusively. You might also see it in a more general sense, like a photo essay, which tells a story through pictures rather than words. But usually, when you hear essay, think of academic writing.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that help with writing essays, our next word is a fan favorite coffee.
Finally, the fuel that powers my world. Coffee is that famous brown drink, right? Made from roasted beans.
That's the one. In Chinese, it's just cafe. It's a simple noun, but its usage is very flexible. You can have a cup of coffee, black coffee, which is coffee with no milk, or iced coffee.
I'll take an iced coffee right now, please. I could say, I can't start my day without a strong coffee. Or, let's meet for coffee this afternoon. That's a very common social invitation.
It is indeed. Let's grab a coffee is a very friendly and casual way to ask someone to hang out. Now, what if the machine that makes your coffee works all by itself? That brings us to our next word automatic.
Automatic. That means it works by itself or with very little human control. 也就是自动的. Like an automatic door that opens when you walk towards it.
Precisely. It's an adjective. So we could describe our coffee machine from earlier as an automatic coffee machine. Another example would be modern cars often have automatic windows.
And what about automatic transmission in a car? That's a very common one. You don't have to change gears yourself. I much prefer driving an automatic car in city traffic.
Me too. It just makes life easier. So imagine you're driving your automatic car to a big event like a conference. And that's our next word.
A conference. That's a large formal meeting where people gather to discuss a particular subject. In Chinese, that would be 会议.
Correct. You can attend a conference, speak at a conference, or host a conference. For example, she is a keynote speaker at the annual tech conference.
I went to a marketing conference last year in Chicago. It was huge. The conference was packed with industry experts. Is there a difference between a conference and a meeting?
That's a great question. A conference is usually much larger, often lasting several days and involving many different speakers and sessions. A meeting is typically smaller, shorter, and might just be for a specific team or department. You wouldn't call your weekly team update a conference.
That makes perfect sense. And when you arrive at the conference, the first place you go is the entrance.
You're one step ahead of me, Frank. Yes, our next word is entrance. It's the door, gate, or opening where you enter a building or place. 也就是入口.
So you could say, we'll meet you at the main entrance of the museum. It can also refer to the act of coming in, right?
Exactly. It has a second meaning. You could say the actor made a dramatic entrance onto the stage. This refers to the way he entered, but most often it refers to the physical place. For example, there was a long line at the theater entrance.
Okay, so a physical place or the action of entering. Got it. After we get through the entrance, maybe we need to find a place to park the car.
A perfect transition. Our next word, park, can be both a verb and a noun. As a verb, it means to put a vehicle in a particular place for a period of time. 也就是停车.
Like, I need to find a place to park my car. Or the dreaded, you can't park here. I've seen that sign too many times.
Haven't we all? As a noun, a park is a large public garden or area of land used for recreation. 公园. For example, the children are playing in the park.
So I could say, let's park the car and take a walk in the park. Using both meanings in one sentence. How clever am I?
Very clever. That's a fantastic way to remember both uses. Now, sometimes finding a place to park can lead to an argument.
Oh, I see what you did there. Argument is our next word. It's an exchange of diverging or opposite views, typically a heated or angry one. That would be 争论 or 辩论.
Exactly. For instance, I had an argument with my friend about the movie. A common phrase is to get into an argument, as in, I tried to avoid getting into an argument with him.
It doesn't always have to be angry, though, right? In a debate or an essay, your argument is the set of reasons you give to persuade someone that you are right.
That's a more advanced and very important meaning. You could say, her argument for the new policy was very convincing. In that case, it's about a logical line of reasoning, not an emotional dispute.
So context is key. Now I feel like I've learned so much already. Which brings us to the word much.
It does. Much is a determiner or pronoun we use to mean a large amount of something. It's typically used with uncountable nouns. We can translate it as 很多.
Like, I don't have much time. You can't count time, so you use much. But you wouldn't say I have much apples. You'd say I have many apples because you can count apples.
A perfect explanation, Frank. We also use it in questions and negative sentences. How much does it cost? Or there isn't much sugar left.
It's also used for emphasis, right? Like, thank you so much, or I feel much better today.
Yes, for emphasis with comparative adjectives. Excellent point. And for our last word of the day, let's talk about something we can see visual.
Visual. That relates to seeing or sight. 也就是视觉的. Like, visual arts would be things like painting and sculpture.
Correct. It's an adjective. You could say the film is a visual masterpiece. We also talk about visual aids, which are things like charts or pictures that help you explain something. For example, the teacher used visual aids to help the students understand the lesson.
Parap, I'm a very visual learner. I need to see things to understand them properly. So I could say, the report included several visual representations of the data.
That's a great professional sounding sentence. And that wraps up our 10 words for today. A quick reminder to our listeners, you can find the word list for this episode in the description. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to get ready for our next set of 10 words.
Now I think it's time to see how these words play together.
I agree. We've prepared a short scenario dialogue that uses all of today's vocabulary. Listen carefully and see if you can spot all 10 words. In this scene, Frank and I are colleagues preparing for a big day.
Let's do it. I'll start. I can't believe the annual conference is finally here. I feel like I haven't had this much work since I wrote my final essay in college.
I know what you mean. The main entrance is already crowded. Let's find a place to park quickly. I really need a coffee.
Good idea. I hope their new automatic machine is working. I had an argument with the old one yesterday. I swear it ate my money.
That sounds frustrating. Is that our booth over there? Wow, the new visual design for the banners looks fantastic, but I bet it was expensive.
It was, but management approved it. They said the visual impact was worth the cost. Let's get set up.
Agreed. There's so much to do before the first presentation.
And scene. How did we do?
I think we got them all in. We had conference, much, essay, entrance, park, coffee, automatic, argument, visual, and expensive.
It really shows how these words can naturally fit into a daily conversation at work. I hope our listeners found that useful. And now, it's time to put your skills to the test.
That's right. It's time for our Chinese to English practice segment.
The rules are simple. I will say a sentence in Chinese that uses some of the words we learned today. I want you to try and translate it into English. I'll give you 5 seconds. Ready? Here's the first one.
在那家昂贵的餐厅入口处，我们就停车位问题发生了争论。Take your time, think about the words. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Emma, what are some good possible answers?
A great direct translation would be, we had an argument about the parking spot at the entrance of that expensive restaurant.
I like that. Clean and clear. You could also say, at the entrance to the pricey restaurant, we got into an argument over where to park. Using pricey as we discussed and got into an argument is another natural phrasing.
Excellent alternative. All right, Frank, hit us with another one.
You got it. Challenge number 2 is 这次会议有太多的视觉材料需要处理。我需要喝很多咖啡才能完成我的论文。
That's a long one. Listeners, you can do it.
Let's start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, how did they do?
I hope they did well. One good answer could be, this conference has so much visual material to process, I'll need much coffee to finish my essay.
Simple and effective. Another great option might be, there is too much visual content to handle at this conference. I'll need a lot of coffee to get my essay done. Using a lot of is a very common substitute for much in positive sentences like this.
A fantastic point. It often sounds more natural to an English speaker's ear.
All right, time for our final challenge. Here it is. 那台全自动咖啡机虽然很贵，但视觉效果极佳。
A short but sweet one to finish.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you think, Emma?
For this one, a smooth translation is, although that automatic coffee machine is expensive, it's visually stunning.
Ooh, visually stunning. I like that. It adds a bit more impact. You could also say that fully automatic coffee machine has a great visual appeal, even though it's expensive. Visual appeal is another nice collocation.
And that's all the time we have for our practice segment. You all did a wonderful job today.
You certainly did. Learning 10 new words is no small feat. We are so proud of you. And we've got more great words coming your way.
That's right. In our next episode, we'll be tackling explain Saturday, owing, should, conflict, black, delicate, press, investigate, and universal.
Ooh, that sounds like a very useful list. I'm excited to learn about the different uses of press.
It's a great one. Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you once again for tuning in to Oxford 4000 Essential English Words.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. It's the best way to support us and help us keep making these episodes. Stay curious, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.